I've been thinking a lot about Anthony Bourdain lately. Now he became Anthony Bourdain. You don't know who he was. He was this chef and writer and had this show Parts Unknown where he traveled the world. And yeah, he ate a lot of cool food and interesting food, but really he dove into the world's stories. Like his storytelling chops really came to life for me in that show. He killed himself about 3 years ago, and I've been watching the show compulsively. And I don't know when, but I recently watched a YouTube video of him where he's talking about his big break, how he made it, and it was an essay. Honestly, it was just a single essay he wrote that got picked up by the New Yorker, and even that was weird because it was an essay about just life as a chef, the sordid parts, the funny parts, the family parts, why he still loves it, the failures, his restaurant had just failed. All this goes in this essay and it has that typical kind of snarky Bourdain feel to it. And it lands on a really beautiful note. The last sentence is, I am home. And he's just talking about like his chef life and how like from going from a failed restaurant to working in another kitchen for somebody else. But he loves the energy and the space. And so he ends with, I am home. And I was thinking about that because at first the essay wasn't even supposed to be in the New Yorker. It was supposed to go into some free newspaper. But the editor or some other editors kept pushing it back. Maybe he didn't like it as much as another editor at the same newspaper. So he was talking to his mom, and she said, just send it to the New Yorker. And then I think he said he was intoxicated when he did it, but he did. He sent it to the New Yorker, and they said, we love it. We're going to publish it. 2 days later, the publisher comes to him and says, we'll give you 50 grand to write a book, basically an expansion of his essay. And that's it. That's how his life took off. And he was in debt. He said he hadn't paid his taxes in 10 years, and he'd never paid rent on time, but that's what happened. And everything just changed. I don't know how I feel about that story. I don't know what that means. Can't imagine what that feels like. I think I watch the show because I'm stuck in the house because of the pandemic. And, through this show, I get to travel. But I also think about it as a writer and just writing in general. It's interesting for me because I have this essay and I sent it to my professor just to get a sense of it, if it's any good, because it lost this competition. That kind of hit me in the heart. And it's so funny whenever I hear one of my professors curse, because they never do, well, not really, ever in class. And he wrote me an email and he said, this essay is fucking brilliant, exclamation point. He's not even that like emotive, which was cool. That felt great, but it was interesting. He said something that stuck with me because I find it so odd and I can't put my finger on it. He said, this essay could open doors for you. And I think the thing that trips me up is, how can an essay, just one piece of writing, be the thing that opens up all these doors for you? Just one short story, just one 1 minute story. How does that work? I mean, I'm accepting it. I'm just thinking, why is the world like this? Maybe because it's small and it's an opportunity where somebody can actually see that small moment, or maybe it's magical where all those years of trying, failing, trying, failing, trying, and not failing, trying, learning, because I like that Mandela quote, I never fail, I either win or I learn. So try learning, and then it just, you stumble upon this moment where all this kind of comes together. Maybe. Feels like magical thinking to me, but it's not. I mean, it happened to Anthony Bourdain. I'm sure it's happened to other people before too. It's interesting. Anyway, today was another good day of writing. I'm trying to think, what writing tips should I share? I'm working on, so I was really struggling with, I'm still in my outlining phase. I was really struggling with the climactic scene, what it's going to be. And my tip is to trust the process and be okay with not knowing everything, because storytelling really is part creation and part discovery. And so I couldn't figure it out what the climactic scene was going to look like. And the only idea I had made me really, really sad, but like sad be out. It didn't feel like sad and proportionate with the story, just a sad ending. And I was like, I don't want to do it, but it doesn't feel right. And then today, the ending just came to me. And so I'm really happy about that, because I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know where I'm going, which is a comfort. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else I have to say about storytelling is just keep telling the stories, man. I mean, just keep practicing, keep trying, learning. And I'll also say that I still journal every day, and it's good. Like, it's really good to have those moments and I just say nice things about myself to myself in that journal, because it sticks in me, it's like under my skin when I'm having those low moments when I'm still wondering, what am I going to do professionally? Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't job hunt today because I don't know what to look for. Like, looking for a copywriter gig feels dishonest. looking for another teaching gig doesn't feel as dishonest, but it still doesn't feel quite right. Like I have a meeting with a screenwriter next week, and I might ask them general questions about the profession, but the one question I'm going to ask is, can you see yourself doing anything else besides telling stories? Because I can't, and I don't know how to fix this problem. Or a challenge, I guess. I don't know how to fix this challenge. Maybe I'm doing it now. Maybe just like telling these stories and leaning in is how I'm fixing this problem. It's funny, like I think in one way I'm talking about art, but another way I'm talking about identity. And this part of me that will not give it up, which I am appreciative for, but I can't lie. It hurts, you know? My professor, he sent me an essay today about another author, and she went through something similar. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Then she gets the book published by this super small publisher. 500 books printed. Didn't even sell out the 500, and she felt bad because she cost the publisher money, and the publisher was the only person in the world that believed in her story. And then you know what happens? She gets longlisted for the Booker Prize, which is this huge honor, and it came out of nowhere, and she's blown away. And really, that's a career-defining moment. That's the Anthony Bourdain happening, you know, and that happened for her. So I don't know, but try and learn. Just keep trying and learning. Something good's gonna happen.